We're serious now. All right, we are in business. From Bethany Lutheran College, here with Bryce Fry and Danny Pilot. Now we're here to run the show. All right. 3, 2, 1. Action. Welcome everyone here to the Dorm Pod. I'm Bryce Fry here with Danny Pilot. Today we're going to be talking about college basketball and the crazy NBA trade update news as the trade deadline is on Thursday. We've had short-term content the last couple days or so. Last week, we've been, back and forth trying to find time, not really, finding time for each other,
Yeah.
Danny was busy. Happy birthday, Danny.
Oh, thanks, man.
How old are you now?
Oh, we don't talk about it.
All right, cool.
I'm Unk status officially.
All right, sure.
All right, whatever.
Yeah,
22.
I got a year. I still got a year till I think I'm Unk status.
How old are
in
you?
my opinion.
You're only 18.
I'll be 20. I'll be 21. I'll be 21
You're 20?
in March. Yeah, I'm 20.
Why did I not know that?
I mean, all the
shoot.
freshmen think I'm 18 as, people on live here. I have people on live. This is kind of like an unedited version. If you want to see it, we're testing this out, and hopefully this, becomes maybe a thing in the future. Maybe not. Depends on what the fans want. But today, let's start with college basketball. This weekend, Saturday, college D1. Most top 25 losses in one day. Tied record. What was it? 12, 13 teams that lost?
I don't know. It was a lot. I just remember on Instagram looking at it in there, and it said it was like tied for most upsets in a day.
Yeah, it was a lot.
Insane.
Yeah, Kansas State won over Iowa State. Banged up roster for Iowa State. No Momcilovic. I don't know if they had Lipsy. They were pretty short-handed, especially height-wise. They didn't really have any height, which hurt them against Kansas State, who's normally a taller team.
No, yeah. They've been struggling just because of the injuries.
Yeah,
so they
big.
lost. What was it when they lose? It was yesterday, wasn't it? When they
lost. They lost
yesterday or today?
They lost today.
No,
as well.
I think
no,
it was
yesterday.
yesterday. Yeah, to Kansas. Which Kansas is a good team, but from what they've been doing earlier on, it's kind of surprising how it's been going down. And then one of their main guys now, Curtis Jones, just couldn't make his shots in that last game. It looks like.
Yeah, they've had, they haven't really scored much. What did they score last game?
The last game?
Only 52 points. Only 52 points on Monday. Not very impressive for a very well-rounded scoring team in Iowa State. I think they only had like 60 the other game as well.
Yeah, look at the first half. They only scored 19 in the first half.
Yeah, it's crazy.
That's just Kansas doing a really good job on defense there, and the height really.
Yeah, they really took advantage.
Yeah.
Down low. And then Iowa State wasn't shooting well in general, which hurts obviously in the perimeter shooting. My boy Conkin Nipple, along with his sidekick Cooper Flagg, destroyed North Carolina. Sorry, Con, for glazing you.
Yeah,
but,
that was a.
We'll go.
No, that's your guy. He's been balling too.
Yeah, he's
hooping.
He's been hooping the last couple games. 2 20-point games the last, 3 games.
I saw what's in. Oh, this was kind of cool. I saw another mock draft on Instagram, and it had him going to Minnesota. I know you would love that.
Interesting.
If he got,
that would be cool.
That'd be sick. But Duke did their thing, and
him.
This team is talented. This team can really go far, and we say that all the time about Duke in the tournament.
Yeah.
But these guys are really hooping, because I've seen the other Duke teams before. They struggled some of the times against some random teams. In this one, they're just kind of on it. Beginning of the season, they struggled.
Yeah.
Now it's just steamrolling everyone, and mostly last year they lost to the Tar Heels. I remember.
They did. Yeah, Shire had a little bit of an issue, in ACC play, but they're 10-0 in conference?
11.
11-0 in conference.
They're 11-0 in conference.
Really showing up there. But yeah, very, very strong win. for Duke, could have the margin of win could have been a little bigger, but Duke just totally dominated that game, both defensively and offensively.
I mean, yeah, Flag and Conan and Flag. I struggle with your boy's last name, so I'm just gonna say that.
It's Knipple.
Knipple.
Yeah.
They're just showing up day after day, game after game, and really showing why they're ready for that next level.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Khan's really, evolved into a great, team player. Watching him out there, passing the ball around, making the right plays, making the right reads. I feel like it's kind of cool seeing someone younger than you that, it's kind of cool, seeing someone like Khan evolve into the great player that he is. Let's move over and go to Texas Tech over Houston. Texas Tech taking care of Houston, just overall dominance. Tech really made minimal mistakes, stayed with Houston the entire game, really pulled away at the end.
Yeah, that was
especially.
They're doing their
Houston
thing
too.
They're doing their thing. Texas Tech is really hooping there, and just Houston. Every year I see Houston in the tournament, I'm like, that's a team I think is gonna go all the way, and just they fought with them there all the way till the end, just for a 1 point win. Just that there was a travel in the final seconds for Houston on Roberts, and it just ended up going Texas Tech way after that, and it's just. That was a battle there. That was a nice battle over who gets to own Texas there.
Yeah, that was awesome to watch. It was a back and forth game in the second half, and really, Texas Tech pulled out at the end. Michigan State upset by USC. Michigan State going to a tough road game against USC. USC's been more mediocre, stronger, but they've been. They showed that they can handle tougher teams in, Michigan State, and they really showed that with the victory against them. I think they shot pretty well.
Yeah.
I think USC, right?
USC. Nah, it was...
No?
I can't even say... Well, they shot pretty well, but it was the same, really. The only huge difference was in the free throw shooting.
Sure.
Michigan State just didn't take advantage, going 11 for 19. And the same amount of free throws, USC going 15 for 19. In a 6-point lead, that's 4 more, and I don't know where the extra came from.
Sure.
2 extra threes for USC, but they're in a lower shooting percentage.
Well, it's a 6-point
and just the defense, though, from USC, their leading scorer was Fears with only 12 points.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, while USC had Claude had 19. Okay. You have Yates the third with 15, and then you have Agbo with 14. So those are 3 guys who are over their one leading scorer. So
Cloud had that big game when they had that big upset. I forgot who it was against, but I think it was against Oregon maybe or something like that. But yeah. And then we got UConn beating Marquette. UConn really making a statement at Marquette. Marquette's been cold shooting their last couple games, not really shooting the rock well. UConn took advantage of that and really, stopped foot at Pfizer Forum. And then Baylor, with their quickness, overcame Kansas. I think it was at home. Okay, it was at home. Yeah, Kansas only getting 70 points in that game. Baylor's quick defense, caused a lot of turnovers.
And the comeback there.
Yeah.
First half, it was 40-21 for Kansas.
Yeah.
And then just the second half was a takeover from Baylor. Baylor scored 60 points in that second half, only allowing 30.
Yeah.
They flipped it. I just wonder what kind of team talk they had in that locker room to make it such a big difference.
Yeah, Scott Drew really, you could tell how amped up he was, watching, at the end there with his players, how you could tell how amped up he was in that, big win against Kansas.
Yeah.
Calipari, revenge game against Kentucky. His Arkansas Razorbacks and former Wildcats themselves end up beating Kentucky at Kentucky.
I don't think
big road game.
that's not even us. I wouldn't say it's a surprise.
It shouldn't even be a surprise. Yeah.
He knows the system. He knows what they were under his system for so long.
Yeah.
He knows how to play him. He took some of his players with him too.
Yeah.
And you know, when you're playing your old school, you're getting a little bit more emotional. Like,
right.
I'm ready to play. So
yeah.
they were ready to play and they gave it to him.
Yeah, they really showed, Kentucky what's up. Kentucky, I mean, I saw the beginning of the game and man, Kentucky couldn't miss.
Really?
They were shooting lights out in the beginning and Arkansas, somehow, stayed with them in that run and seeing their drive, I feel like Calipari really, you could tell like with his form of talk, he was really showing, his emotion into, wanting to win in that game for that. And then Missouri over Mississippi State, not a big upset, but, Missouri's been on a roll, really, scoring against big name teams, and they're, getting the dubs that they're going to need for the SEC. SEC's been so difficult this year.
It's a strong conference. I mean, you also have the number one team in the country in SEC. It's a strong conference. And we said this before, such a strong conference this year.
I think they have like seven teams now in the top 25, something along those lines. But yeah, Louisville over Georgia Tech. Georgia Tech upset Louisville. Sorry, I typed that wrong.
Huge
Anyways,
upset.
Yeah, Georgia Tech over Louisville there. Louisville's been, back and forth between being ranked and not. But Louisville's a solid squad. So Georgia Tech getting a big ACC win there.
Another story of where halftime, after the half, was a whole different game. Georgia Tech was down 38-27 in that first half and then going on to score 50 the second half.
Yeah.
They just really picked it up on offense there and they were getting the stops there, only allowing, I think if you can allow in each half like between 30 and 35, that's a great defensive half.
Exactly, yeah. It was pretty good for Georgia Tech there. Oregon losing to Nebraska at home. Nebraska really, with Connor Essegian and their shooting, overcame Oregon and their tall, slow, I wouldn't say Oregon's slow, but they're more like a slower paced team. Nebraska's quickness overcame them there and got the big dub.
They're kind of dying down. Oregon, we remember the beginning?
Sure. Yeah.
They were hooping.
They were like 5 or 6 at one point.
I mean, overall, they're 16-6, but all of their 6 losses have been in the Big Ten.
They've been really close too. Yeah, it's been a tough conference schedule for Oregon for that. Kansas over Iowa State. Iowa State's been struggling, so the Kansas win over there wasn't surprised, but it was an upset that we wanted to bring up. Now we'll move over to the NBA. The NBA news. Man, Doncic to LA.
Oh my!
For AD and Christie, man. What are your thoughts on that?
You want to hear the story of how I found out? It's actually pretty funny. It's like we said, it was my birthday. I was back home in Illinois, and I'm having a party with my friends. Next thing you know, my friend pulls out his phone. He's like, "This can't be real," and we're like, "What's going on?" And then we all check our phones. ESPN posted Anthony Davis, Luka Doncic trade, and I was like, "It can't be real." Right. And then next thing you know, everyone's posting. I'm like, "Oh my gosh,
it's actually real."
But yeah, my thought after I took a second to realize like what just happened, because my first thought was, "Why are you trading Luka Doncic?"
Right.
That was so, I don't know. That was so weird. But if we're talking about at the moment, I think for this time right now, I think the Mavs won the trade.
Yeah. Yep.
They have a more well-rounded team,
Sure.
Because before you had, Kyrie, Doncic, Klay Thompson too, so when he pops off, but he can't do it as much with other guards.
Sure.
And then what was it? PJ Washington and Derek Lively.
Yep.
And now you now can allow maybe Klay Thompson to get a little bit of a bigger role.
Yeah.
You have Kyrie Irving who can create. You have Klay Thompson coming off the shoot. So and then you have Anthony Davis in the 4 spot. He can play the 4 spot. And we know Anthony Davis at the 4 spot is balling in the 4 spot. And then you have Max Christie coming off the bench. I saw today.
Yeah.
See, dang, they lost by 2 points to the 76ers.
Yeah, they just lost. Yeah.
What did Christie drop today?
Christie had
off the bench 15 off the bench.
15.
So that's a big game out of him, and it's just going to really allow. And now look at this. Plus, I mean, look at the loss here, and it's the rest of the guys other than Kessler Edwards.
Yeah,
did their job. So you switch him now for it would be
Christie. Yeah,
for not Christie for Anthony AD when he's back. This team is destroying the 76ers.
Oh yeah. 100%. They win by 20 probably.
I think this makes the Mavericks stronger for this season.
Yeah.
But for the future, I think if the Lakers can keep Luka Doncic, they have the replacement from LeBron.
Yeah.
And they can really cook something up in this offseason.
Yeah, they can, find good signings for Doncic if LeBron does plan on leaving LA. Yeah, my opinions for it, really looking into depth into the trade with Doncic and AD, really showing, Dallas, really looked at, the conditioning of Doncic, showing he's not really taking care of his body much. They had that post on where one of the managers, took the beer away from Doncic after one of the games. I thought that was kind of funny.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, with the partying or whatever. But yeah, I thought that was interesting, Doncic being 25, not being in the best physical form, you can kind of tell he's been getting injured more often than normal. And it's really, it showed fatigue. I mean, I guess that's a big part in, trading someone for that reason. But, again, when people think, it's the franchise player, you kind of should be hesitant about it. But it sounded like they had no hesitation with making that, trade for AD.
I think in the end then for Doncic, I feel he's just that type of guy that's going to be like, all right, I'm going to show you.
Right.
I could see him grinding while he's at the Lakers, get in such good shape and just start cooking.
Yeah.
So this trade might even be good for Doncic in a way that maybe he felt comfortable.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He's like, you guys never gonna trade me. I'm that guy.
Right.
But I mean, we'll see now.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. I'm curious on how AD is gonna fit with the Mavericks. I feel like he'll fit good with Kyrie, and then I'm curious on what they're gonna do with like the guard play, because I'm curious on. I feel like at some point they'll put Christie as a starter, so they'll have Christie, Thompson, Irving, Gafford, and AD out there, and that's dangerous.
And they just got which of the Martin brothers? They just traded Quentin Grimes for Caleb. I want to say
Caleb Martin, from the Sixers, right? Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that's such a big pickup, and now it's just who can come off the bench for Kyrie, really. Yeah,
Dallas is really, really deep.
Jeez, that starting lineup. If Christie can start, first of all, I'm a
Dinwiddie. I mean, no.
Oh, Dinwiddie. What am I talking about?
Dinwiddie can come up pretty good.
He's fine.
Marshall dropped 19. I don't even know. I never heard of him until just now. But yeah,
I'm a Christie fan just because he's from Illinois.
Sure. Yeah.
Been around my area, and he was picking it up for the Lakers. When you put him in that starting lineup, that sounds so scary. And then off the bench, you have PJ. That means PJ Washington would come off the bench too.
Yeah.
Jeez, this Mavericks team.
When Washington's healthy, yeah.
This Mavericks team's gonna be good.
Yeah. Doncic is expected to play tonight.
Really?
No, actually, no.
No,
he's out. He's out till next week, or he's out till Wednesday. My fault. He's out till tomorrow, so he won't be back for another 2 days or whenever their next game is.
Max Christie brothers out.
Christie's brother's out. Yeah, and then Cleave's out too. He's also injured, and Wood's injured, and the Lakers got a lot of injuries to deal with.
I think and then just the Utah Jazz. I feel like they got the call just because they needed another
team. Get rid of someone, yeah.
Yeah, it was just the most random thing, giving up just $55,000 and you get a player.
Right, yeah.
So that's just such a random add-on.
Yeah, I mean, it's what the Lakers needed to do, I guess, for cap space for Doncic. because apparently he's worth more than AD, which makes sense. But again, Doncic in that trade, lost a lot of money.
So who do you
Did you
think?
see the financials for that?
No, I didn't.
He lost in.
Oh, his max. Yeah,
it's like
super max.
Yeah, the super max he missed out on.
Yeah. So at the end of it, who do you think won the trade?
I feel like for the future, I mean, in the next couple years, I feel like for the future, I feel like LA won, but in the next couple years, I feel like Dallas won it. We'll see how Dallas uses their.
You think
they'll be dangerous next year? I feel like.
Do you think it's a Toronto situation? If you know what I'm talking about.
Yep. I know exactly what you're talking about. Yeah, I feel like it'll be more like a Toronto situation. Get themselves in the finals in the next 2 or 3 years or so, is what I think will happen. And then the Bulls trade with the Kings and Spurs with De'Aaron Fox, Zach LaVine. Who else?
I can tell you all the players the Bulls got.
Yeah.
Trey Jones, Zach Collins, Kevin Huerter.
Yep.
And all right, this is
players.
Really biased because, like you heard, I'm a Bulls fan. I mean, we got our pick back, and now we call Operation Capture the Flag because you know who we're trying to go after.
Yep.
I like the idea of a full reset.
Sure.
And for the Bulls at this point, you got to trade Pat Williams, who's worth you want to pay him $90 million.
$90 million
to drop 5 points in 30 minutes.
Yeah.
And then, I'd sell Vucevic. I'd do a full reset.
Sure. I feel like you keep Vucevic for veteran purposes, I feel like.
Yeah, but
drop Williams for sure.
He needs to go.
He's washed.
Taking too much money. Yeah. I don't know why we picked him up with the 4th pick. That was that's Chicago sports where it's at. But looking at the Spurs got their guy.
Yeah.
They wanted De'Aaron Fox.
100%.
And now, what is even the Spurs lineup going to look like now?
They got Vassell. Who was it? Vassell, Fox, Wemby.
Is Chris Paul going to come off the bench, or is he going to start? And if he starts, is he the 1 or is he the 2?
CP3 is going to come off the bench.
You think?
Because they were stacked. Let's look their roster up quick. But yeah, so they have Wemby, they have Fox, they have who else? Yeah, so they have Castle, Vassell, Fox, Wemby, and then they got
Jeremy
Sohan.
That's my guy.
Yeah. Sohan,
That's my guy. Representing Poland right there. That's my guy. But now DeMar and Zach LaVine coming back.
Yeah, that'll be interesting. Yeah, seeing them both from Chicago.
They were both balling together back in Chicago, I remember.
Yeah. That was fun to watch.
Does Malik Monk play the point guard position then?
For the Kings, I feel like something.
You have Domantas Sabonis at the 5. DeMar is.
I feel like LaVine or DeRozan would bring the ball up, in my opinion.
I think it would be LaVine more than DeMar. Jeez.
But yeah, you got your options. But yeah, so several teams got their big role players, and some teams, feel like, got taken advantage of. I feel like
Utah and Chicago
in these trades. But
now is just the last big one I think is going to happen is Jimmy Butler.
Yeah, we'll see how Jimmy Butler and what that'll do. I'll do a quick short on that when or if any of that will end up going down. But yeah, it's about 24, 25 minutes for you guys. It'll be cut down a little bit, but thank you guys for listening, and hopefully you guys watch the live broadcast tomorrow as I will cover Bethany versus MLC beforehand, and then watch for a player interview after the game, as I'll be doing a player of the game. And yeah, now I just got to edit for 3 hours and, get this puppy done and out by tonight. So hopefully you guys see this tonight, Tuesday. If not, we'll see it Wednesday morning. But yeah.
If it's going to take you 3 hours, it's going to be technically Wednesday.
No, it shouldn't take 3 hours, but it should take about an hour or two. Boy, I over exaggerate, for viewership. I'm just kidding. But yeah. Thanks to you guys for listening to the Dorm Pod. See you guys next week. Peace.